So in this section I'm going to take a couple minutes and talk about the waterproof breathable technology on these. There's some relevance there as to how it feels and how it works. This is on the REI Rainwall. This is a standard polyurethane coating on here, and they've got this, whatever this inner part is. It's pretty good. It's better than first generation stuff, but it does get kind of clammy and wet and slippery on the skin when I'm wearing it. So this is fairly standard. If you can see, this is a nylon ripstop. The next one is the Marmot Spectra with its new Nano Pro coating. This actually is pretty nice. It definitely feels drier and nicer against the skin as compared to the a little bit older technology REI coating. So this is a polyurethane coating. All of the non-Gore-Tex waterproof breathable technologies that I know of are polyurethane, as opposed to the Gore-Tex, which is Teflon. They're different polymers. So the Spectra jacket, this Nano Pro is really nice. I like it a lot. You can see that it's got like a mini or maybe micro ripstop, whatever that is. And then here's a plain weave. So they've got a plain weave through the shoulders, which has got a little bit of stretch to it, which is really nice. Here's the Marmot Artemis. It's got the Marmot Membrane Nano Pro laminate technology. It's not a coating, it's an actual laminate like the Gore-Tex, but it's a polyurethane. It works really well, but as you can see, it does not work nearly as well as the Gore-Tex Active, and that may be partly due to construction. This really feels really good. The newest polyurethane coatings are really beginning to feel pretty good against the skin instead of that clammy, wet feeling. The outer fabric here, you can see this is some kind of maybe mini ripstop, and another mini ripstop. This is really nice fabric. This is some of the nicest fabric. All of it stretches. It makes for a really great jacket that's light and moves with you really well. This is shell 100% nylon. So what they've done with the Artemis is made what I feel is a very, very superior, maybe the best shell waterproof breathable jacket of its type on the market, especially for the price. And the last jacket is the Marmot Nano AS. So it's using Gore-Tex Active, which is very, very breathable. So it's 2.5 layer. Inside you've got this nylon fabric on the inside. It definitely feels the best. There's definitely no slick surface, no clamminess, no anything. It seems to do extremely well about taking up sweat, moisture vapor, and passing it out through the surface. This outer fabric is also pretty nice. A little bit stiffer than the others, but still pretty good. And here's where I'm going to take some real exception to the difference between what Marmot's got on the website, what their customer service people on the phone know or don't know. I feel they've got a real gap in updating their website and training their customer service people. So if you take a look at this, this is obviously a ripstop fabric. There's no doubt in my mind that this is a ripstop fabric. And if you can see, if I can angle it, I think you'll agree this is a real ripstop fabric. Their website calls this a plain weave. You've seen the plain weave on the Artemis. That's a plain weave. This is a ripstop. Also on their website, they call this polyester. And if you take a look at the tag here, you might be able to see right there, shell 100% nylon exclusive of trims. So this is not polyester. This is a ripstop nylon. It's not a polyester plain weave like is shown on the website. Customer service reps couldn't seem to be able to answer that very well for me either. They were pretty confused as to whether this is a ripstop or not. So to Marmot, please train your customer service reps better. Please get with your digital communications people and get your website updated. It's a real disservice to the customers. You make the best outerwear, innerwear, etc. in the industry. I've really loved Marmot stuff. I've depended my life on it all over the country for 30 years, and I'm going to keep doing so. So this begins the section on hoods. I'm a real hood geek. I used to be a real big fan of rain hats instead of a hood. The hood felt closed in, they didn't work very well, they made me sweat a lot, I couldn't see very well, but the hood technology, the hood materials, the hood designs for quite a long time have been really, really superb. I've had a long line of Marmot jackets, REI, and Moonstone jackets that have just had great hoods. So now I'm a real hood geek, and for those of you that like hoods, I'm going to take you through a quick tour of the hoods on all 4 of these jackets. That's the Marmot Nano AS, the Marmot Artemis, the Marmot Spectra, and the REI Rainwall. So to introduce that, the Rainwall, the REI Rainwall, has one of the very best hood designs that I've ever used. The elastic around the forehead, unlike the rest of these hoods where the elastic goes here. The upshot of that is that the REI hood conforms, moves, and feels better than any of the other hoods. The downside is whatever it is about my face shape and the hood design, it allows it to leak inside. So it kind of defeats the purpose of such a well-designed hood when it leaks inside, for me. Again, that's just for me. The most problems I have is with the Spectra hood, and I attribute that to 2 major things. First of all, it's the largest hood, it's the largest body, it's the regular fit, what Marmot calls the regular fit, rather than their athletic fit like the Artemis and the Nano AS. But the hood is just too big. It also suffers from not having a moldable brim. The website says it does, but it doesn't. It has a laminated brim, but not a moldable. So you can see in the other video where it kind of peaked up like that. There was really nothing I could do about that. No matter what I did with the adjustments, I couldn't get that one to work very well. Whereas you'll see on the Artemis, and especially the Nano, that the hoods are sized a little bit better. The adjustments work better. So here's the 2 basic adjustments. One thing I like about the Nano AS is it's a little bit tunnel-like, so I can even wear it like this, and it's got the moldable brim that works pretty well. So the first, you want to adjust these a little bit. So this makes this elastic come down so that when you move your head, the hood moves with your face here. And what cinches it down is this one back here, which is actually pulling from here, which tightens it around here, as well as tightening it around the head. And I feel like that's a superior hood design. In my experience, it has been. So I like to wear my hood like this. And here you can see there's no movement of my face into the hood here. And it's very easy to adjust it like this. I'll show you on the Marmot next, and then the Spectra, and I'll show you the REI Rainwall after that. But this is really a great system, and I've had a long line of Marmot jackets, shell jackets, that have just had superior hoods and superior all-over design. This is the Marmot Spectra. This is the hood testing section. This is my least favorite hood of all of them because that helmet sizing doesn't work very well, and despite the really superior design of the hood adjustments, it just doesn't work without the moldable brim and with the hood just too large. So I'll zip this up here. So the other thing I don't like about the hoods is the hood pulls inside. You have to adjust it before you put it on, and it's a little bit difficult to adjust it after you put it on. Certainly you can adjust it from the outside, which is what I end up doing. But so here, tighten this up now. So you can see the hood conforming. It moves really well. There we go. See, that moves really nice, but you see this peak? This is irritating. This comes right in my eyes. I can't, it really cuts off my side vision. So, in this peak thing, it doesn't really work well for the rain. This brim just doesn't work very well for me. Between the vision and the peak here and really being unable to adjust it, I've played with the adjustments, and it really doesn't change anything. The hood is too big, and it doesn't work for my head size. It may work for other people's head size. Otherwise, the hood design is really quite good. So this is the hood section, the hood testing section for the Marmot Artemis. In some ways, the Artemis is my favorite jacket out of all of them. but except for the zipper jamming. So, yeah. I really don't like that zipper jamming. Anyway, the Artemis has some really, really wonderful, probably some of the very best fabrics, stretchy fabrics and feel for a shell that I've ever had in the past probably 30 years of testing these. Here you've got the similar, see, I can adjust it here just a little bit extra. There. So here you've got this similar, partly because of the fabric, the lightweight fabric, partly because of the superior hood construction. Now you've got a moldable brim. See, there's no peak. I can mold this the way I want. I can mold it out to the side a little bit, like this, right? And now it's opened up my peripheral vision a bit. This hood design really, really works well. It moves great. It feels great. It's one of the very best hood designs that I've ever had in 30 years of having waterproof, breathable shell jackets. So kudos to Marmot. There's a lot of other good hood designs out there. Again, depends on how you use it and your face shape, but I find the adjustments on this to work extremely well. The hood works extremely well. It's some of the very best hood design that I've ever used. So there you go, Marmot, as usual. So here's the hood technology section for the REI Rainwall. The REI Rainwall has been a great jacket. It uses the polyurethane coating. It's been pretty good, but after less than a year, it started just soaking rain right through it. So something happened to defeat the waterproofness. The DWR still works on it. I think it's a great jacket. It's a great design for a lot of reasons. I'm including in this test for the hood and the hood design. So you can see, if I can, except for where they've placed these, it's difficult to adjust this, but not too bad. So I don't know if you can see, but the hood tightening comes right around underneath here. I'll show you right here. The elastic is here, so it tightens right around the forehead. Some people might not like that. I like it because the upshot is that this hood sticks to my head and moves with me better than anything else I've ever used. There's no movement at all. It's really excellent, except because this tightens here instead of tightens back here. The ones that tighten back, like the Marmot, actually seal this up a little bit more. This doesn't seal up as well. So right in here, the rain kind of drips around, and it drips right in here and goes right down my neck. So not such a good situation. So I guess the overall design is not as good as the Marmot. The Marmot still works extremely well. It's the best hood technology, the hood design that I've used. This is really good, but it just kind of misses this opening down here. I don't know how many other people find that, but I've just kind of repeatedly had the water coming down inside my neck. So just an example of a little bit different hood design. Today I'm going to try a last test, and that is to have a regular polyurethane coating waterproof breathable jacket, my REI jacket. I've got the zips completely open, if you can see, and I've got the mesh pockets, have mesh in back of them, so I've got the pockets open, and I've sealed the skirt down at the bottom. I've sealed up here. It's 42 degrees, it's going to get to 44 degrees. It's very sunny, so there'll be some warm parts. We finally got some sun here in Portland area. You can see blue skies, and I'm going to see what happens if the ventilation provided by this can help to overcome me over sweating past the capacity for the coating, the water breathable coating, to pass vapor through, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to leave the cuffs open. And I won't put the hood on, but to allow a little bit of ventilation from the head. But we'll see what happens. We'll see if it gets too warm to make this a good test, or if it stays cold enough, especially in the shade, and we'll see what happens. Here's my first stop, about a third of the way in, and I'm not sweating too much. I think some of the ventilation is working, but we'll see at the next stop what I feel like, and what the strip down looks like when we see the my Marmot dry climb wind shirt, what it looks like. I'm at my highest point here in the walk. I'm doing pretty well. I don't feel overly sweaty, but I didn't before. So we'll see what the pit zips and the dry climb wind shirt strip down show at the end of the walk, which will be pretty soon. So I did my 1 hour walk. I've got this bottom part sealed off. I've got the pit zips open, so we'll take this off. I definitely felt some air movement in there, I think, so we'll see what this looks like. And there's a pretty huge difference. This is just very slightly damp here. Part of it might be because the collar was open here a little bit, but I definitely got a lot of air movement from the pit zips and probably from the mesh pockets. So it seems that ventilation and pit zips really make a huge difference with these. I'm going to compare this against the Nano AS, which does not have pit zips, but does have mesh pockets. And we'll see what this looks like tomorrow under really similar conditions. So I'm starting off again this morning under pretty similar conditions. It's a little bit breezier, but it looks like it's going to be the same temperature range, starting off at about 42, go to about 45. And I've done the same thing here. I've sealed off the bottom around here, and I'm leaving the pockets open. I'm not putting the hood on, just leaving it up around the collar. So we'll see what happens with the Marmot Nano AS. We're at my first third, and I feel like it's cooler than yesterday. It's maybe a couple degrees cooler. A little bit of a breeze, so but nothing is penetrating this. I'm working up a little bit of a sweat, so we'll see how much the pit zips help and see how comparable we can make this. At the top of the walk, I'm feeling a little bit sweaty. It feels just a couple of degrees cooler than yesterday. There's some breeze, so we'll see what it looks like. I'm mostly interested in seeing what it looks like around here, right? Because we got some ventilation here, but we have no pit zips, so we should have more sweat build up around the shoulders, around the back. So we'll see when I take off and take a look at the Marmot dry climb wind shirt. I finished my so-called standard walk, 1 hour, 3.5 miles an hour, up and down some of the hills. I felt it was maybe a little bit cooler than yesterday, a couple degrees when I did the RAI rain wall, but the sun was also a lot sunnier today, so it was definitely warmer in the non-shaded areas. And I'm really expecting to see more unmoved sweat patches around here because I got no pit zips. So let's see what we've got. And in comparison with yesterday, there's really no sweat at all, much less than yesterday. There's one or two couple of faint patches here, right up here, but that's about it. So my conclusion is that the Gore-Tex Active in this configuration, under my testing conditions so far for me, breathes much better than the Marmot Nano Pro coating or the Nano Pro membrane laminate. And this is opposite of the conclusions that I thought I would have, and that is I'm concluding now that with the configuration of this jacket that I don't need pit zips anymore. I've always used pit zips, but with the way the Gore-Tex Active is, it just breathes better than anything else I've tried in 30 years. And in 30 years, I haven't felt like I could give up pit zips. And now I feel like I can give up pit zips. So that's my conclusion. The Nano Pro AS with Gore-Tex Active is the best quality, the best breathing jacket that I've ever had. Thanks again to Marmot. That's typical Marmot technology.